And welcome, Lynx here. We are getting back to a game that we played very long time ago. I think it was in 2019, and back then it wasn't yet finished. And today we are returning to it. After it's been waiting as well for quite a while, because it's been completed quite some time ago. But I don't know, I just couldn't get myself back into it. And now, during the Christmas/New Year break, I'm gonna do it. I think we'll be returning to a few games right now. I really want to finish what we've started in the past. So, let's go. Continue. Chapter 4, Tails. Tails? What? Are we playing Sonic? 24th of June 2010, Vicky's apartment, 7:21 in the morning. After the events of the last night, the time passed and slipped through my fingers. The next thing I knew is that morning has come. Vicky spent her night resting. I, on the other hand, couldn't get any sleep. That's every day for me, kind of. With a gun in my hand, that's not every day for me. That's none of the days for me. I sat all night on a couch, a blank stare, listening for every detail I can hear. Like the sound of Vicky's neighbor upstairs, descending the stairs. What I am afraid is if those men suddenly barge in and capture Vicky and I. That is why I was up for there tonight. To guard this apartment and to protect her from any kind of threat. Yeah, I mean, it's probably all about her now, right? To protect her. We have to leave this place. No! Last night, Vicky and I had an argument. Our quarrel, despite being tense, was quite since we didn't want to alert anyone. Admittedly, I'm the one responsible for this. But only because she continues to refuse the solution I proposed. I mean, you know, it's her house, so it's, I would say, kind of understandable for her not to want to leave. And again, maybe I'm incorrect about that. Even if I leave, I don't know if they're going to follow me or not. If I'm not here, I can't guarantee your safety. What about me? I have a life here. I know, but who knows what they will do to you if they catch you. Fine, you can go by yourself then. I'll just tell the police that my house is surrounded by some suspicious men. That will solve it, won't it? No, it will not. That is not good enough. I need you to come with me. I'm desperate, I admit it. Even if she's not the white figure in my dreams, I have this strong urge to protect her. Maybe it's because I have yet to know who that figure actually is, and Vicky is still my best lead. I never knew that I could be this selfish. Yeah, kind of similar situation. No, not really similar, but I found out that I can be selfish, yeah. Why? What is this binding motive of yours that makes you want to keep me safe? I can answer that. If she knows the reason why, she will think I am crazy. What? Can't you say why? Ugh. I averted my eyes from her without saying a word. Not only am I unable to answer her, neither can I face her. My mind began to wander, remembering the first moment I saw her. She just trusted me, even if she should not have. Back then, I was relying on her blind faith on me. I remember how glad I was when she trusted me wholeheartedly. But this is different. This time, it's because the reason is too self-centered. Don't you trust me? She continued, reassuring me with a composed tone, different with the tone she used to argue. To the tone, but whatever. Trusting, that is the problem. To be or not to be. While biting my tongue, I knew that I would have to accept whatever answer she would give me. Whatever it is, it will be answer she gave because I trust her, even if it is not the answer I wanted. With determination, I swallow and exhale deeply. I have reached acceptance. I just need to trust with her with the answer. This will sound crazy. I say, whilst moving my eyes back at her. Do you remember back when I asked if you knew someone by the name Eve?
Yeah, what about it?
It was because I dreamed that you said you know someone with that name.
You dream?
Yeah, I dreamed about you, or someone who looked like you. But let's face it, how many people in the world look like you?
Quite a few, you know. We actually had a meeting.
No, I mean, then again, in the dreams you see people that you basically saw in your life. And not only had a contact with, but you know, you could have passed them on the street or whatever. I just broke them. So yeah. It literally could have been anyone. And you just made up a name, right? For that person. I must be crazy, right? You don't know me, but I keep feeling that...
No, you're not.
She's looking at me as if I'm a child who lost his mother. Her gaze is filled with warmth, but also with pity.
Are you sure you're not just feeling your feelings with that suggestion? Did you let your hope cloud your judgment?
Come to think of it, I have. When I saw her in for the first time, I was so sure that she could give me answers. I'm still clinging to this, which is why I want to keep her safe so badly. Is it wrong if I do? Even if she's not that white figure? My answer is still no. It should not be wrong. I did. I was desperate.
See, then you know why we'll have to part ways at some point. You have your own path, while I have my own.
Hope can cloud my judgment, and it did. I have become careless. That was the reason why I got shot in the first place. I remembered what I did with Dashan's crew. I united them when they needed it the most. Why can't I do it now? I'm sure it's because I'm still blinded. I get it. Feeling determined, I mattered something. This was the answer I kept avoiding, but hearing what she just told me assured me that this is what I should have done. If you don't want to come with me, then I will stay.
Huh?
I know I shouldn't run away. They can give me answers, so I will just play by the rules. I'll go with them. That way I can make sure that you don't get harmed. It is that simple.
What? Bravo?
No. You said it yourself. We have our own paths. If I can't choose yours, you can't choose mine.
So what? Do you just want to walk out there and let yourself get captured?
Of course not. There are some things I need to know first. Okay. Thus our argument ended. She still doesn't agree with me, but at least she can accept my plan. She can't probably, but accept it. Since they might have watched us for some time now, they might raid Vicky's apartment at any moment. Until the night fades and the sun rises, I had kept myself awake. Seconds, minutes, hours passed while I sat like a ragdoll on the couch, not even budging ever since I sat on it after midnight. I thought I was meditating, preparing myself for the truth I deserve. Even if I should be feeling restless, I don't feel any deterioration of my awareness. I'm still as attentive and sharp as I should be. My judgment was clear. I know what I have to do. Putting aside all my hopes, I have to find answers.
Good morning.
Vicky, who had left me to rest, now returned to join me in the living room. The traces of drowsiness are still clearly seen on her face. Her eyes are still heavy. Her short hair is messy. It's not really that short of hair. Sticking upwards, full of cowlicks, and her lips are noticeably dry. Morning. Just after the night spoke, I realized how restless I am. Apparently I had slept with my eyes open, and after I moved my body a little, I noticed how fatigued it was. Moving my body a little forced me to raise my hand and stretch my back. Ooh. It helped a bit, I can feel my spine straight. From Vicky's point of view, I must have looked like a cat stretching his body vertically. It doesn't seem like they're about to move yet. Maybe there is nobody there.
Good, I need to freshen up.
After answering my report, she immediately heads towards the bathroom. While she washes herself, I approach the window and look outside. In the corner of the street, I can't see those two men anymore. Instead, I see someone else, a man with a familiar face wearing a black, thigh-long trench coat. Oddie. Standing where those two men was Oddie, meaning he managed to escape from the store. After I shot his leg, I didn't know what happened to him. I think he crawled out from that store before police raided the place, and then he spotted us, and followed us here. Also remembering that I was not conscious that time, I guess it is just natural that Vicky was not aware that someone had tailed her. As I stare at him, his eyes are focused on this window. I can feel that our gazes meet, looked intensely on each other. From his stare, I can tell that Oddie knew that I hardly become aware of this, and his team's presence. I can make out from his stare that he is taunting me. As if we are talking telepathically, I silently accept his challenge. After locking eyes for about a quarter of a minute straight, I back away from the window and sit back on the couch. Knowing Oddie is here, I need to rethink my plan. Not long after I began to think, Vicky came out from the bathroom. Nothing changed much from her appearance, apart from her damp hair, which she still tries to dry with a towel. Vicky, I need you to pack.
I told you I'm not leaving.
No. Please do it as a plan B.
Plan B?
Shh. My hearing suddenly sharpens. The silence of the morning traffic outside makes my auditory range expand. I don't know for exactly how far, but I can hear something aside from the ticking clock on the wall. It was coming from outside. The sound of the door being breached. Even if it was originating from the ground floor, the sound was faint, but I heard it loud and clear. Hearing that noise made me alert. It also caused me to stand in order to warn Vicky. I heard someone's footsteps. Sounds like it's a woman. It is unmistakably that the voice came from the door. They are coming. Vicky, no. But I don't reply, I only tilted my head with disapproving look on my face. After seeing that, she immediately heads towards her room. While she gets ready, I also prepare myself and release my gun's safety lock. The clattering of muffled yet rushed footsteps from the hall is gradually getting intense. If they have ascended the stairs. And they now stand right in front of the door of Vicky's apartment door. Suddenly the door in front of me got breached. Someone had kicked the handle until the door forcefully opened. The blast triggered my reflexes. I raised my arm right hand and aimed it towards the door. As the door opened, I see 3 armed men.
I see one.
One is still recovering balance after releasing the devastating kick onto the door, and the other 2 are aiming their sidearm while scanning the room. For after realizing that I have aimed my gun to the door, their movement halted. Even the man on the right, who was scanning the room, had to take over behind the threshold. There are only 2 men that are visibly standing under the door sill, one standing armed and the other one with his hand lowered. My hand is aimed at the one with gun ready. For a moment there is also only silence, until the one with his gun aimed at me muttered the instruction, which I would not be happy to comply with. Drop your gun! You first! I just want to talk. There is only silence. None of us want to lower our guard. Yet no one wants to take offense, just like playing football with just 2 goalkeepers. Stop it! Lower your gun! Suddenly another voice from the hall orders in a straight tone. I said lower gun! That man repeated his order. After a few seconds the armed man reluctantly obeyed. He starts to lower his gun, seeing that I follow by slowly doing the same. After both of us lowered our guns, the one who gave that order begins to show himself. Oddie. Oddie, the sole survivor from my battle 2 days ago, shows himself again. I wounded his leg that day, but now he looks just fine. Despite looking like he recovered, I can see that he's still walking stiffly. He walks through the threshold and enters the apartment. A handgun is being gripped on his right hand. His partners are still waiting behind the threshold, but he continues walking inside. With every step he takes, I take a small step backward, making sure that he won't surprise me. I keep backing away until I pass the coffee table. At the same time, Odie also stops. Okay, I just want to talk. After that, you can just take me, whatever. Sure, just talk. But first, tell your man to wait outside, across the street. I can see Odie is concerned. My request makes him bite his tongue. Fine. After taking a moment to consider, he accepted my terms. He turns his face to the left and raises his left hand, and then he makes a flicking gesture, signaling the others to leave. The others are not so happy with Odie's instruction. They express their refusal soundly by giving a disapproving look, but Odie insists by emphasizing his order through flicking his left hand a little bit harder. Still looking reproachful, they obey reluctantly. Whilst keep locking their eyes into this room, they slowly back away and leave. After I can't see them anymore, I moved to my left and approached the window to make sure that Odie's partners left the building. With my whole front still facing Odie, I peek in the window a few times before I finally see them vacating the building. When they exited, the two of them are fixing their eyes into this apartment's window, making our eyes meet. While still staring at me, they slowly cross the empty street and wait there. After I am sure that the three of them have settled there. Three? Maybe. I move my head away from the window and return to face Odie. From her room, Vicky is looking concerned. I just nod silently to assure her. Seeing me nodding, Odie directs his eyes to see where I was looking. He must have thought that I was alone, so he smiled upon knowing that I was looking at Vicky. So, what do you want to talk about? I'm not ready to reply. Before I start talk, I raise my right hand to show him my weapon. Seeing what I'm doing causes him to clench his gun, but that did not stop me from applying my gun safety and putting it on top of the dining table. Then I slowly walk away, approaching the TV set. Put your gun on the coffee table. Hearing my instruction put him at ease, he relaxes his hand and walks towards the coffee table and puts it down safely. I want to know what you know about me. Answer me, please. I know much. I was just assigned to capture you when you landed. That is all I know. After hearing the same answer again, I don't know if they are agreed to give that answer, if I ask or not, which means I have to get the answer from someone else. Then who are you working for? Who is a supervisor? I can't answer that. What do you mean by can't? Seeing me unable to hold back, Odie went silent. Sorry. Why can't you answer that question? Because I simply don't know. Another dead end, just like with Guile. This means that I have to let them take me if I want to get to know who they are working for. Fine, you can take me, but I have one condition. Just one. What is it? You won't hurt her. I point at Vicky, who is watching us from her room, to show Odie who I'm talking about. Odie looks at her for a while, then pause he makes while considering is somewhat dubious. Fine, I'll leave her on her own. I exhale in relief. I look back at Vicky and whisper that everything is going to be fine. I can see that she's looking intrepid, but that whisper is all I can do to assure her. Is that all? Yeah. Then shall we go now? Odie picks his gun up from the coffee table and walks towards the door. Upon exiting, he waits outside Vicky's apartment while still looking at me. Seeing this, I know he's not giving me time to say goodbye. Without wasting any more time, I take my journal and jacket from the dining chair and wear it. I will walk towards the door while putting my journal into my jacket's inside pocket and fix my eyes to Vicky while Odie is keeping his eyes on me. My eyes and Vicky's eyes are intertwined while I try to tell her through my gaze that everything will be fine. I can tell from her eyes that she's trying to say, be safe. Go on. When I step outside the door, Odie tells me to lead the way. Even after I turn myself in, he's still afraid that I will run away again. I walk warily in front of him. I follow the corridor to my right and turn left to descend the stairs. After reaching the ground floor, I trudge through the rest of the corridor until I reach the front door. The broken front door. From here I can see all these partners are waiting across the street near a silver sedan. Their appearance is quite peculiar. There is a dark-skinned man wearing a short-sleeved shirt. The other one is wearing a white shirt with pale brown strip patterns on it. And the last one is a young man wearing dark sunglasses. Seeing me coming out with Odie behind me changed their expression from vigilant to content. Without being instructed to, I know I have to head there. I cross the street and approach the others. Before I reach them, Odie hastens his walking pace to approach them first. Don't know why, but whatever.
He's going. Don't tell. Don't. Tell the supervisor that we have recovered the subject.
It was easy.
Shut up, Marco.
After hearing Odie's report, Don draws out a mobile phone from his pocket and starts to type something on it. It was the almost identical with the phone I found on Odie when I was in his ambulance. What about the girl?
She hasn't been taken care of.
What?
He stated that he will go if I leave the girl. I had to abide.
The supervisor ordered there will be no witnesses. I don't like where this discussion is going. Is it time to kick some ass?
I know, Darius. That is why I said explicitly that I will leave her. So can you kindly take care of the girl?
That bastard.
Damn it, Odie.
Darius, the man who Odie was walking to, immediately walks past through me and crosses the street. Knowing that Odie had double-crossed me, I soon turned back and tried to chase him.
Hold him!
Unfortunately, I didn't walk too far. The other two, Don and Marco, had restrained me on Odie's command. Oh, fuck. Their hands are holding onto my upper limb, restricting me from moving even further. Then use your lower body parts. While I'm still trying to break free, Odie slowly moves around until he's standing in front of my face. That's when I kick him in the balls. I would do that. You promised you would leave her alone!
I'm sorry, but an order is an order. But technically, I did leave her.
I can express my anger with words. Although my right upper arm is still restrained, my left arm is still free. I firstly raise my left hand and clench the fingers into fist. I pull my hand backwards, building momentum, but before I can thrust it forward, Don's left hand moved from holding my left shoulder but to restraining my left wrist. Dude, you have legs!
Just give up, Lieutenant. Will you expect your...
My movement is tight, I can't move forward at all. But Marco, Don were only preventing me from moving frontward. So when I unexpectedly move backward, they almost lose their balance and get their grip on me. When they try to maintain their balance, they are basically just a wave large to my body. I can drag them forward effortlessly. Even with them still clinging to my lips, I move forward to attack Odie. Not with my clenched left fist, but with a swift headbutt. I mean, you still have legs, man. My forehead clashed with his nose bridge. He was knocked aback from the surprise of my attack until he fell on his bottom and rolled his back while covering his face. Without breaking my movements, I immediately used my left elbow to jump on Don's face. While I unkizzingly elbowed Don's face, Marco is trying to smack me by pouncing on my right gut. With every punch he lands on me, I can feel a tingling pain on my right side. Right side? This might have been where he was shot. I honestly don't remember. I mean, it's been years since we played this game. And I did not make myself remember what we played through. If I kind of vaguely remember the boat and so on, whatever. I try to ignore it, but his attack makes mine weaker. Luckily, with every blow I land on Don, his grip gradually gets weaker. After several attacks, he releases his grip from my left hand. Odie is still trying to recover, but unable to fight back. He is the least of my worries, so I focus on Marco. He won't be so hard to deal with, I just needed to swerve under my own armpit, and he releases his grip. I then violently kick him on his left abdomen with my right knee. He loses his balance and falls on his knees. While he's still holding his gun, I strike him on his left temple with my right hand. Good. Marco felt groggy, but not enough to faint, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Don had sneaked up on my left and punched my left cheek. His punch was quite strong, but was not enough to knock me down. I stepped rightward to make this oh my god, I think I remember now. It was pissing me off. He was like, oh, I step rightward and leftward, rightward, leftward. The wording annoyed me there. I think I... Now that I think about it, I think I did not enjoy this game too much, didn't I? Let's see, VNDB. What did I give you? My list? Yeah, I rated you very lowly, I guess. I vaguely remembered I did not like this game, but... Anyway. After punching the air, he almost slipped. Just before he recovers, I sweep his leg to topple him. Audie is recovering, but still covering his own eyes. Coincidentally, he's kneeling in a line with my route to Wiki's apartment building. I ran towards him, but before I passed him, I hit his right cheek with my left knee until he fell on his face again. Good. Getting hit with a knee hurts a strike for sure. While they are still recovering, I ran towards Vicky's apartment hastily. Darius has disappeared inside ever since after I headbutted Audie, but this is why I must be even faster. I may only have seconds before he arms her. Upon entering the building, I rush, climbing on the stairs, and run towards Vicky's apartment. I arrived in the nick of time to witness Darius pointing his gun at Vicky, who is still cooped up in her room. Before he managed to pull the trigger, I ran past the broken door and jumped on him to push his right hand away. Apparently, as I landed to him, Darius managed to pull the trigger. Fortunately, I managed to push his gun away, so the bullet pierced the wall near the window close to the dining table, far from Vicky, who is covering her room with her eyes closed and ears covered. I got distracted, trying to make sure that Vicky is fine. I didn't realize that Darius had prepared to strike back. With the gun in his right hand, he punched the left side of my face. That pushed me until my back clashes with the wall near the door. My position is dangerous. I had opened a gap that makes him able to fire his gun at me. After I cover, I find that he has aimed his gun at me, specifically at my legs. Right after the loud bang, I can feel a sting on both my legs. How do you feel sting? He shot once. I can tell where it came from exactly, but after a second I can be sure that my leg did not go shot. The bullet that pierced the wall near my foot was the cause of the sting. When the bullet contacted with the wall, it trembled. Since my legs are still touching against the wall, the tremor transferred to my legs. After I knew that I was not harmed, I look at Darius. I can see that Vicky is clinging onto his right hand, making it harder for him to aim his gun at me. Even after she makes sure that Darius cannot fire his gun, she keeps hindering Darius by biting his forearm. What are you, a vampire? Darius screamed in pain. It would seem that Vicky's bite is burrowing under his skin. Soon after I comprehended the situation, Darius started to raise his left hand, ready to hit Vicky, that bastard! I realized that his stance is the sign that I had to hit back. I propped myself by bouncing my back against the wall to thrust forward. Oh, for fuck's sake, we know you are going forward! And kicked Darius' gun off his right hand with my right foot. The gun got thrown across the room and landed right in front of the kitchen door sill. Vicky, get down! It took her a few seconds to act upon my command. Even Darius managed to hit her a few times. That bastard. I am guessing it was because her bite was too firm that her jaw stiffened, so she needed a moment to release her bite. Soon after, Vicky had removed herself from between Darius and I immediately charged in. Seeing how he was standing, solid but with both of his knees bending, I climbed on his right knee and thrust myself upward. I fucking hate those words when you use them, using my left foot. While I jump, I use my right knee to kick his chin and my right elbow slammed to his crown smoothly like a monkey wrench. Upon attacking, I lost my balance as Darius is tumbling backwards. I land roughly to the floor on my left side of my back. After I fell, Vicky immediately comes to my aid and helps me stand.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I don't have the time to answer the question. I limply approach the window from there, as I can see that the other three had recovered and soon they will raid this apartment. Is there another way to get out of here?
I mean, we can use the emergency fire escape.
Great, where is it?
There, right beside the alley window.
This place won't be safe for now, we need to go. You packed like I told you, right? She's still looking hesitant but also understands the necessity. She runs towards her room and grabs a backpack. While she's taking her belongings, I pick up the gun and the wallets on the dining table. Began like next to the kitchen and cram them into my jacket pockets. after applying the second gun's safety. After picking up all the things I would need, I approach the alley window to open the latch and raise it. I stick my head outside and look around. I find a set of emergency stairs to my left. It was not too far, I could reach it if I jump. As I look behind, I find Vicky is approaching me. Seeing she's coming, I climb on the windowsill, then stand on the small ledge below the window. After I balance myself, I jump and grab on the emergency fire escape stairs railing. It does not take much effort to climb it, and as I turn around, I find Vicky has already climbed on the apartment window. To help her, I stretch my right arm at her to make her jump much easier. What jump for? What are you talking about? No, don't reach for my hand. Just jump and grab it. Seeing her trying to reach my hand from the ledge, I shake my head and guide her. Where would he... Why the jump, dude? What? That doesn't make any sense. Pretty sure you don't need to jump at all with getting to the emergency stairs. We don't have them here, but I'm freaking certain they are literally at your freaking wall. If she keeps reaching, she could lose her balance and fall down to the ground if she falls. The fall is only about a 5 meters drop, but it would still hurt, especially for her. Hearing my instruction, she takes a stance and then jumps from the ledge. Jumps where? There was no need to jump. It was not hard to catch her clasping left hand. Thereafter she lost her footing, then swings and crashes towards the stairs railing. Dude, you can see she doesn't need to jump at all. What are you talking about? I summon the strength and pull her upwards. Oh fuck, I hate these words. After she managed to put her feet on the stairs ledge, she then transfers herself into the stairs and then swiftly descends onto the ground. Like, the guy was trying to make it so fancy with the text and words, it's so annoying. Oh, she moved upwards, leftwards, downwards, rightwards, oh, leftwards again. Shut up. Hearing a sound coming from Vic's apartment, I pull her hand and take her into the streets, in case they see us when they check the window.
I forgot my car keys.
Don't worry, it's better that way. If we take her car, it would be easier for them to find us. For now, it is better for us to just blend in the crowd, and since I know the supervisor issued a no witness order, I can be sure that they will not engage us in the crowd. After we exited the alley, we turn right. Thank you for not saying right words. And for the last time, past Vicky's apartment building. From here, we'll only need to pass another building before we reach the intersection and be clear from the street. Despite walking hastily, we are not fast enough. I can see from the corner of my eyes as I look back that they have exited Vicky's building apartment right before we took a right turn. You could have just said turn, you don't need to repeat the right turn. I don't know if they saw us, but I know that we are in desperate need of transportation. Okay. To be fair, you should have blurred the license plates. Once we took the right turn, I spotted a taxi waiting for passengers ahead. As I rappel my gun inside my jacket pocket, I think I can arrange a transport. But you took their wallets! You don't need to... One free one. Anyone knows what license plates those are? I mean, what country is it? I mean, I have no idea, to be honest. Whatever. I have a plan.
What is it?
See the taxi? Can you ask him to take us somewhere?
Sure, where to?
Anywhere, just make him get here.
What? What are you?
Please be hurry. Please be hurry, what? Reluctantly, she proceeds to approach the driver and talk to him while hiding in a nearby alley. I don't know what she told him, but in the end she managed to make the driver take her. So far, they haven't checked the street yet, but it can be any time. Once I hear a car engine closing in, I take a deep breath, then leave the alley to approach the taxi with determination. I cross the street until I reach the middle of the street. The taxi passes through, but when its driver's seat door and I are aligned, I draw my gun from my jacket pocket and use its grip to smash on the door's window. Why? My first strike was not enough to shatter glass, only enough to crack, but my second attack makes it break. Makes it break? I immediately reach for the door lock and unlatch it, and then I grab the door's handle and open it. The middle-aged driver screams and flails around to defend himself as I forcefully try to hijack his vehicle. His cry attracted the attention of people around us, but fortunately when they saw us, I had entered the taxi.
Theodore, what are you doing?
Anything to survive. She's doing a stupid thing. My answer makes her go silent. She just wears her seatbelt without complaining. I thought I have never driven a car before, but my motor instincts seem to be taking over. My left hand shifted the gear lever after my left foot stepped on the leftmost pedal. Oh my god! Who the fuck calls a clutch a leftmost pedal? And as my right foot lands on the other pedal. Then say on the gas. Oh my god. Or acceleration, whatever. Holy shit. Of the left. Oh my god. On the left no, I can't. I just fucking can't. Who the hell would say leftmost pedal? Dude. Come on. It's a clutch, not a fucking leftmost pedal. Just as I accelerate, I can hear a banging sound from behind the car. It was the sound of the taxi driver trying to seize back his vehicle, but his effort was meaningless. I wouldn't do that. I feel pity seeing him, but for now I have to prioritize our survival. Unfortunately, we have to pass through the intersection of Vicky's apartment building again. As we pass, we exchange looks with those four men who are still looking for us, and this taxi's darkened windshield did not help. Before I cross the intersection, I turn my face leftward. And I saw that they have raced into their car, which means that I need to disappear soon. That's why I put my left foot onto the leftmost pedal and switch gear with the fucking whatever you are called that to the next one and click the rightmost pedal. I would not be surprised if it was written like that. That street is quite lengthy. I don't see any other instruction or turn nearby. Right when I look behind via the rear view mirror, I noticed the silver sedan was advancing and closing in. Despite being distracted, I tried to remain calm by pretending it was just another car passing by. Remember that they are under no witness or After cruising in a lengthy road for a while with another car tailing us, I finally see an intersection ahead. Since the traffic light is green, I accelerate and distance our vehicle from the silver sedan. Wait, we are driving a Toyota? That sucks. No, I mean, Toyota is pretty cool, but I really hated Toyota Yaris while taking my lessons. It sucked. But when taking a right turn into the intersection, another car suddenly appeared to my left. The sudden appearance of a burgundy SUV. Well, that definitely is not a SUV. From the left makes me pull the handbrake, which causes my car to slide leftward. Just say slide, please. Stop with the directions. Just right before the SUV crashes. I have made a 90-degree turn, so the SUV only hit this car's back shock absorber. I mean, yeah, that's kind of good. I mean, if your car gets hit in the front, I mean, it might cause an explosion or whatever, right? So it's dangerous, or just, you know, light something up. Even though it's heavier at the front, in the back, I guess the chances for explosion are not that big, but it's lighter there, right? So you might go flying. Anyway, the clash caused Vicky and I to jolt forward. Vicky is fine when she's wearing the seatbelt, but I almost hit my head against the windshield. Wear your seatbelts, kids. Fortunately, I can place my left hand on the dashboard to suppress the impact. I recover immediately soon. I return to sit on the driver's seat and look behind using the rear view mirror while hooking my seatbelt. Now that I think about it, he's on the right side, so we need to be in Britain, right? From there, I noticed that inside the burgundy SUV are Audi and Darius, which means inside the silver sedan are Marco and Dawn. It was still not a SUV, it was a fucking Toyota. It definitely was not a SUV. Not too long after the crash. I mean, I think Toyota makes SUVs, but the one you showed us, it wasn't a SUV. Not too long after the crash, the silver sedan suddenly accelerates. I can see that the silver sedan is trying to pin my car. Knowing the... what are we driving, by the way? Knowing this, I release the handbrake and accelerate. Oh yeah, because he stopped. Okay. This taxi lacks a good traction, so it took a while until it actually accelerates. Or it's not traction, but it just sucks with acceleration. Right after I did accelerate, the silver sedan hits our back's right side, but does not have a significant effect except making me lose balance for a moment. Those two cars also began to gain speed not too long after we leave them, but I managed to make quite distance before they started. And that's when we get stuck in the traffic. This street is quite rowdy. The left lane that we use is relatively empty compared to the traffic in the opposite lane. But to pass a car in front of me, I have to borrow a little space from the other lane, which is why I have to be careful every time I pass another vehicle. Confidently, I shift between the gears and step on the pedals, like tap dancing while swiftly turning the steering wheel left and right. I mean, you can't steer it any other way. The car moves effortlessly because of my dexterous driving. Vicky frequently squeals in dread when I drive too closely to another car. It was 1, 2, 3 cars that I passed until I lost count on the traffic. Then maybe don't count and concentrate on driving. I also frequently try to look behind us using the rear view mirror. I noticed that the burgeoning SUV is having a hard time following us while the silver sedan is quite nimble. Maybe because all these capabilities are still limited due to his wound. What the fuck are we? Okay, wait, we are in USA? I mean, there's America's best network, blah blah blah. But he was sitting on the right side of the car, so kinda does make sense. When I see another intersection, I don't even wait for the light to change to green. Seeing the right lane is empty, I raise my car by stepping on the pedal even harder after shifting the gear down. Down? Shifting the... what? To unleash more horsepower, I momentarily borrow the right lane to pass the traffic queue on the left lane. And stepping on which pedal? Fucking name it. Some of the cars from behind the left and right turn blare their horns upon seeing me driving like a madman, but I try not to pay attention to them since I need to make the turn. So the brake! You hit the brake! You just say it! The turn was quite easy. Then why did he say about accelerating? And more horsepower, that does make any sense. The turn was quite easy to make. Most of the cars on the street stopped and blared their horns after seeing my car charging like a raging bull. Don't you love the videos where the bulls actually hit the bastards? I love them. Fortunately, I did not cause any traffic accidents, at least none that I can see. Upon rolling over the intersection, I take my chance to turn left. This is useless, we need to disappear.
So what's in your mind?
I was hoping she would give me ideas, but she was occupied with something else. While driving casually after losing our tails, I see railroads separated by a wire fence parallel to with the path where I drive to my right. The view gives me an idea. Hey Vicky, do you know where the train station is?
From here I think it's just a few kilometers ahead.
Okay then. Since I stopped the traffic back in the intersection, this road is fairly empty. For a while I speed up to make the distance between us and our pursuer and... Between us and our pursuer and us? Why twice? Even further. Yeah, this is US. After speeding on the street for a while, we reached a different district. Now we seem to be uptown. Oh, sorry. In the backseat, Vicky is looking concerned. I really want to assure her, but seeing she hasn't looked at me in a few minutes, not even a peek, I think it is better to leave her for now. The uptown consists of some very tall buildings, while the rest are mostly around 3 to 6 stories tall. While the traffic is more rough, the road is also wider. Some of it even connects with overpasses that tangle above the ground. Where? Where are the overpasses? I don't see them. For me, it is perfect. The complex layout should help me lose our tails. For a while, I slow down and blend with the traffic, trying not to be too conspicuous. So far, as we leave the uptown and head towards the train station through a less modern district, we haven't attracted any unwanted attention, probably. But when we are waiting for frontmost... Please don't use those words. In an intersection for the traffic light to turn green, suddenly a familiar vehicle passes through. It was just for a split second, indistinct, but I can see the driver of the burgundy SUV, that was not a SUV, from its right side mirror. He must have caught a glimpse of the orange taxi with broken driver's side window, but I drive, which is why the SUV takes a sudden, imperfect U-turn that causes other cars from the opposite direction hit their brakes. The maneuver that the SUV made was my cue to flee. Without even hitting the traffic light, I hit on the gas pedal as soon as I see a gap large enough for us to pass through between our four cars, which come from my left and right. Again, since the tires were lacking traction, the car accelerates without moving for a moment before it charges forward. It's not really acceleration in this situation. Whatever. Just lacking traction. When we crossed the intersection, the SUV was just finished fixing its position after the return and about to accelerate. But yeah, wait. You were driving, he was the same way and he did a U-turn. Which means he needs to do another U-turn. So... it's not really fixing the position, whatever. And this is not a SUV! It is not until after a few seconds later it starts to merge from the intersection and take a sharp turn to chase us. SUV. I should be calling it SUV, don't I? I feel like I'm calling it SUV because it's basically like that in Poland. This is not it for. This SUV vigorously exerts its speed at a high capacity trying to catch up with us. Soon I find them dragging behind us. Seeing this, I immediately shift the gear up and accelerate even faster, but still it doesn't take long before the SUV manages to reach us. Since the road is not quite occupied, the SUV daringly races from the right lane. They stick at our car's right side for a while until I see Darius preparing his gun from behind the front passenger seat window. While all of this is happening, I realize something rather ironic. Vicky, who was terrorized now, seems composed, unlike before when she gasped and squealed when something frightening happened. She was like, "I don't care anymore." This time she just holds on tightly to her seat and closes her eyes, which is why I can be more focused on driving. It does not take long before we encounter another vehicle on this lengthy road where we are racing. Right before Darius slows his window down, their SUV had to avoid other vehicles with blaring horns coming from another direction by slowing down. They have to slow down and stabilize their car as they abruptly merged our lane and tailgate behind our car. This would give me advantage if I was driving in an empty road, but since there are other vehicles in front of us, I can take the chance to speed up. Instead, I have to slow down and wait for a gap on the right lane to pass the traffic line on the left lane.
Theodore, behind us!
Huh? Seeing the reflection of the SUV charging makes me promptly hit on the gas pedal and add speed on the slowing down car. Our taxi accelerates, but I still can't see a gap to slip through on the right lane. There is only a small space left between our taxi and the dark green wagon car when I found another way. The pavement. The right lane is busy, but to the left, the sidewalk is fairly unoccupied. There are only a few pedestrians walking on it, and I believe it is wide enough for our car to run on. Yeah, easy. Okay, now we are again in England.
God damn it. So inconsistent, those pictures!
I don't like it, but there is no other way. I can see if I don't want to get pinned down the cars in front of me and behind me. In one swing I make a hard turn left. Whoa. Left! Left! Not leftward, say left! And stabilize the straightaway when the front left side of our car almost touches the wall of a building. As we squeeze in on the sidewalk, the left side of our car scrapes against the walls of the buildings on the sidewalk. There is barely any space left on the sidewalk for the taxi and the pedestrians. While the taxi takes the most space of the sidewalk, the pedestrians takes cover in a small space left between the taxi and the road, heeding the warning I give by loudly blaring my car's horn. As we skid through while honking our way through the sidewalk, I see the chaotic scene behind me through the rearview mirror. The SUV had climbed the sidewalk after crashing the wagon's rear left side. That is, when it was about to enter the sidewalk, then throw the wagon rightwards. Just say into the right lane, for fuck's sake, we don't need that right word. It's so annoying. The SUV chases us on the same path while disregarding the damage it has caused to the wagon. Despite being able to squeeze on the sidewalk, the SUV advanced at a slower rate since it's slightly wider than our taxi. I keep pressing my way through until the sidewalk ends at an intersection, whilst continuing to blare my horn to warn any pedestrian that is walking from behind the bend. I climb down from the sidewalk and merge into the asphalt road again before crossing the intersection. We only made small distance before the SUV crossed the intersection and began to catch up to us. I have to engage into expert driving mode and slide through the light traffic on these roads. Frequently I check on the rear view mirror to see how our pursuer is doing. This time Audi is making quite enough of an effort to catch with us. It is not speed that makes me able to outmaneuver him, but agility. I mean, yeah, in the city that would be about that, pretty much. And I feel like acceleration would be important. Not the speed, but the acceleration. Like, you know, the faster you reach to, let's say, 200, it's better, right? Not necessarily if you can reach max of, I don't know, let's say 250 and not 350, right? In the city, it's about that. Every car that I springly pass prevents them from closing into us. I keep driving aimlessly without a destination, but I have an objective. To lose them before I head towards the train station. Which makes sense. Apparently my objective is getting harder to achieve, not long after racing on the road. The silver sedan suddenly joins our game of tag after merging between our car and the SUV from the right bend of the intersection. Its sudden appearance obstructed the SUV. If I was a few seconds slower, the silver sedan would have ambushed us. Without realizing it, we are back into the uptowns, just in the other side, yeah. The silver sedan is far better in agile driving. It only took them less than a minute and a few hundred meters in a one-way street to catch with us and match our speed. From the distance, I finally see that Marco is driving the silver sedan while Don is riding beside him. Despite my attention being attached to the road in front of me, I can't help but look to my right again and again after I see that Don has drawn out his gun and aimed it to us, to the front right tire of our car to be precise. That bitch. He fired a bullet, but his shot only hit the road since I managed to shift my car to the left side, right before he pulled the trigger, but he doesn't wait long before he starts to aim again. After realizing that his first shot missed, he immediately re-aims his gun towards the same direction to the front right tire. I don't think he will be fooled with the same trick, which is why I sharply swing the steering wheel to the right side before he can fire another shot. The right side of our car clashed against the left side of the silver sedan. Don managed to avert his aiming from the front tire towards me, but it was too late for him to fire. I managed to grab his wrist and punch the gun from his hands. Okay. Soon after, Don's gun landed on my lap. I grabbed it with my right hand and aimed it towards Don. I don't intend to shoot him, I just want to intimidate him. After I spent a few seconds pointing a gun at him, you are closing in towards another car. I wait another few seconds before I move my aim and squeeze the trigger. The gun's recoil shook my left hand too. Our car was shaken a bit before I pulled my hand back in and stabilized the car with both my hands. After I make sure that I'm not driving into anything dangerous, I avert my attention towards the drifting car in front of us and the silver sedan. Drifting car? One? Who was drifting there? I fired a bullet in the car's rear right tire, causing it to lose control and start to drift right to the right side. The silver sedan had to do a sharp turn right to avoid collision, but when doing so, the silver sedan crashed with a transformer pole on the sidewalk. Hell yeah. The silver sedan did not get totaled. Marco managed to hit on the brakes before their car got crushed. Thus, they only get stuck. Welcome back to the American roads again. Because previously we were in English ones. When I see an intersection, I take another right turn. My objective to lose my tails is halfway done. I just need to lose the burgundy SUV that is still tailing us. Unfortunately, the turn I took earlier leads me towards a road that is under repair, but right before being overhauled, it was a one-way overpass over the freeway. I check the rear view mirror and find that the SUV had followed us. Since I can't possibly turn around, the only way I can is towards the overpass. Are you alright?
No, are you?
I try to calm myself by talking to Vicky while staring at her via the rear view mirror.
I'm fine.
Don't worry, okay? I will not let them make a catch. When still fixing my eyes on the rear view mirror, I caught a glimpse of the view in front of me. There are lines of traffic of unmoving cars. I was close enough to hit the brake just before I hit the car of the traffic. Knowing that we won't move for a while, I turn around to check on the SUV. That's not an SUV. The SUV itself is only 2 cars behind us and will soon catch with us.
What are we going to do?
Vicky's voice takes my attention away from the view of Odie and Darius getting off from their burgundy SUV. The traffic in front of us won't let our car pass. If I don't want them to catch us, the answer is simple. We have to run. Get out, we have to run. Hurriedly, I unhook my seatbelt and get... You... Bullshit! You didn't have the seatbelt on! We know that! You said this before! You think I would forget? No! I remembered! I remembered. The girl had the seatbelt on. You didn't. You said it yourself. You would almost hit the freaking window with your head when braking. I'm very picky when it comes to the game, I think. I look behind at the 2 men who are walking at fast pace approaching us while eventually waiting for Vicky to dismount from the car. After I turned around, I realized how far we are from reaching the end of the overpass, but we still have to scale this distance if we don't want to get caught. When I turn around, again, I found Vicky had opened the door and about to get out. Seeing Cody and Darius are approaching in an alarming rate, I take Vicky's hand and start to run. That was a sound. What the fuck was that? Dragging Vicky is not a good idea, she can barely keep up with me. Her stamina only allows us to run a short distance. We can move even faster unless I carry her, which is also not a good idea. When I turn around, I see that Vicky is gasping for breath. Seeing how she looks makes me unable to drag her anymore.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to say. I can't reach this far because I want to keep her out of harm, and seeing her unable to move makes me clueless of what I should do next. Where we stand on this overpass is not too high, only as tall as 2-story building. That's freaking high. And right below us is a freeway that stretches so far I can see where it starts from or where it leads to. Are we waiting for some vehicle going there, and you know, whoop. The traffic on the freeway is far better than this overpass, but there are more kinds of cars there than here.
Just give up, Lieutenant!
Who's Lieutenant? It is over. Odie and Darius have caught up. They're just about one car behind us. They are walking slowly and approaching us while still being alert, with Darius whispering into the radio. No. If it means that you will kill her, I will not give up.
She's a witness! We have to work clean!
This is not what I want. I want answers, but I also want Vicky to be safe. They say I can only have one. The wind. The wind. Oh, holy crap. I got the line, but I don't remember how the line goes. Follow the... No, not follow the wind. Whatever. Run with the wind. Oh. As if the high wind that blows on this overpass has not made our voice hard to hear. Suddenly a loud horn of truck blares and announces its presence from the freeway below. Wait. This sounds gives me an idea that I am not sure that I like. Still, I can be sure that this is both a good idea and a bad idea. That's what I said, basically. We are waiting for a car to be there and hop. Good, because if it gets executed properly, Vicky and I can lose our dates. But bad, because to get to it, we will have to do something extreme. Yeah, I mean, you really need to have a good timing for that. Vicky, you still trust me, right?
Yes?
I can hear her answer among her loud gasps. Her answer is both wanted and unwanted, but I am very glad to hear that rather than the alternative. Then, will you close your eyes? This overpass has narrow shoulders, and the shoulders are guarded by a boundary that is only about as high as my stomach. It is enough to stop a car from falling, but easy for someone to climb onto. Vicky did not answer my last request, but I have a sound decision. Even if she does not confirm, I will still take her. I wait for the right moment, listening for the wind that the container truck makes as it approaches the underpass.
And right when Odie and Darius are only a few steps away from us, I start with Vicky's left hand. When I start to pull her, I understand her eyes are closed, but sensing I'm pulling her, she promptly opens them. Soon, when they realize that what we are doing, Odie and Darius hastily rush approaching us. Still, it does not take long to climb on the overpass's safety railing and pull Vicky onto it. Doubt can be seen on her face. Trust me, right? Yes!
Without even waiting for her answer, I jump off from the overpass onto an oncoming container truck under while holding Vicky's shoulders. Our jump was timed perfectly, not too late nor too soon. The overpass was not too high. Jumping the container truck's roof was only about a 5 meters drop. I don't know if I ever jumped 5 meters down. Probably not. That can be easily suppressed with a somersault. When we land, we drop and roll to the left to a smooth and silence the landing. It was quite a hard maneuver, remembering that I'm still holding Vicky in the embrace. Despite that, we landed harshly and caused a noise. The sound of the traffic, including the car's own loud horn, prevents the driver from realizing we hitched a ride. I try to recover, but Vicky is clinging tightly to me, making it hard for me to stand. I have to lift her wave to kneel, which is funny since I just realized how light she is. It's okay. I assure her by cupping my hands on her cheeks, while rubbing her damp eyes with my thumbs. You can open your eyes now. Soon she opens her eyes. I can see my own reflection on their watery, glistening eyeballs. Also, this is freaking loud. She's scared, up to the point where she can't speak. I know she doesn't like being pushed, but I had to. I'm sorry, okay? I continue comforting her, to which she only replies with rapid nodding. While still kneeling, I turn around to look at the overpass we jumped. Despite far, I can see Odie and Darius watching us, with the latter still whispering over his radio. For now, we are safe. Vicky and I can sit peacefully on the trunk's container roof.
only to wait while fighting against the wind as the truck is cruising on a freeway. This is not a freeway. We are still waiting for the truck to slow down so we can climb down, but despite passing some exits, this truck still runs on the freeway, even when the scene of the city changes to the view of a seaside road. We have been sitting on this truck for a while. I even lost track of how long exactly time had passed. I'm guessing that at least 20 minutes though? Also, Vicky has been constantly quiet since we landed. You surprised about that? She only talked twice. The last time she said that we would talk later. Sorry. What the fuck? Suddenly, a gunshot can be heard from behind. Hearing the sound of a gun being fired, I instinctively look behind. The object I see behind the truck makes me my pupils dilated. Are you kidding me? Since I was too occupied looking in distance, I didn't realize that the familiar silver sedan had sneaked behind this truck, complete with its battle wounds. On top of it, Don, who's sitting on the side window while aiming his gun from its roof. His first shot was aimed at Vicky. Fortunately, it missed.
That bitch.
Soon after I realize that they are targeting her, I tell her to get down and take cover. Wait here. I commanded her, to which she does not respond. After I make sure that Vicky is safe, I immediately draw my gun from my jacket and release its safety before I stand. Walk close to the ledge and take aim. Wouldn't it be easier if you were laying down? I fired a shot, but it hit the silver sedan's roof instead. It was not too hard to lock down in my target, but I forget to take the motion of the cars into account. How do you forget that? When I tried to refine my aiming, the car suddenly shifted to the left side and started to accelerate. Which is obvious, I mean, dude, they shoot at your vehicle. You fucking go full throttle. The silver sedan vigorously rushes beside the truck, and as the car tries to pass the truck, Don can be seen climbing onto its roof. Then he's an easy target. Come on, wait for him to get up and poof. I crouch and crawl along the left side of the container since Don is still fixing his aim while struggling to climb to his car's roof. Oh, he's okay. As soon as he jumps on the truck's front seat, I start... Wait, why didn't you fucking try to shoot him while he was climbing onto his car? He was such an easy target. As soon as she jumps onto the truck's front seat, I rush approaching the truck, but it is too late. Don had breached the door and entered the truck. Seeing that, I dash towards the corner ledge and step on my right foot when I reach the corner and jump. Before I fall, I reach and grab onto the top of the open door. When my wave contacts with it, I immediately transform by the inside. Inside the truck, Don and the truck driver are having a struggle. I immediately interfered by knocking the back of Don's head with my gun. It did not take him down, but I have his attention now. While watching Don and I fight, the truck driver is doing his best to drive the truck under pressure. Don turned around and lands a punch to my left cheek. I can block it since he caught my left hand. When he was about to lay another punch, I managed to pull my right hand free and use it to strike his eyes with the gun I hold.
Nice.
My attack was enough to blind him, so the rest is easy. I hit him twice, again. Once on his ears and once on his nose. Should have hit the throat. Despite being unable to feint, he has been disabled. I just need to get rid of him. I transfer my gun to my left hand and wrap my right hand with the old seatbelt. I then lock his hip with my left hand. Thereafter, I pull my body backwards and lift Don's body. It is kind of like a suplex, except that I'm sitting. As I keep pulling my body backward, I reach the point where my body falls out from the truck. This guy. That moment is when I release my grip from Don's hip, while my right hand, which is wrapped with the truck seatbelt, prevents me from falling. Okay. Oh, so you... Okay, that was wise. You prevented yourself from that. Cool. Don fell off from the truck and hit the road. Nice. Before I can recover, I failed to realize that the silver sedan had been waiting for me right beside the truck. When I see it, it has already ramming itself towards me. Despite the split-second event, I managed to pull my left hand and squeeze my gun's trigger. My gun blasted a bullet. My shot hits the silver sedan's front right tire. Yes! Making it rips and bursts, and since the car was turning when the tire got shot, the car lost its balance. Marco, the one who was driving, tried to balance the car by braking, but instead of stopping, the car drifts instead. It keeps drifting until it passes under the container's wheels. Shit. That sucks. The container's rolling wheels crush the silver sedan, but at some point the car gets lodged under the wheels. The container loses its traction and starts drifting to the left. Since I don't know if the driver can have control over this, I have to check. I try to raise my body up, but I fail to find something to hold on to. Even the hanging door keeps slipping when I try to hold on to it. When I try to balance myself, I remember something important I've forgotten. Vicky. Motivated with that thought, I summon my strength and pull myself by depending only on the seatbelt that is wrapping my right hand. When I try to climb, the silver sedan finally dislodged from the wheels and got crushed by the 6 wheels of the container. The tremor caused me to lose my balance. Knowing the truck has lost its anchor, the driver tries to stabilize, but the truck and the container has been too bent on its axle. Even if the truck is able to run straight, the container would still drift and become another wave. When I fell, the seatbelt got torn down a bit, but every second I'm hanging from it, my body wave makes the teeth bigger. I try to pull myself up again carefully so I don't apply too much weight on it, but before I can recover, the seatbelt gives in. I fall and hit the road under the drifting container. When my body hit the asphalt, I rolled over a few times before I finally lost my consciousness. Fuck. A familiar voice woke me up, helped me to regain my consciousness before I fall too deep in the abyss of the unconsciousness. So I open my eyes. My vision is fuzzy and unclear, but the name is clearly seared on my mind. Vicky. Vicky! I called weakly while trying to stand. I can feel pain all over my body. My cheek and my hands are bleeding from a scrape wound I got from rolling over the road. Some joints in my body are also swelling, but I try to ignore my wounds as hard as I can. Vicky! I call again, this time after I stand and with a loud voice. The view around me is terrible. I would say the view is pretty freaking nice. The silver sedan has been turned over a few meters behind me while the truck is tiptoeing on the ledge of the freeway. After half of its container crashed through the freeway's side rail and hanging over a cliff. Oh, Vicky! Even after my vision got better, I can't find Vicky. Theodore! I can hear someone calling me faintly. It was not the same voice that prevented me from passing out. Besides, it called me by my current name. Even so, the voice is very familiar. Vicky! Vicky! Theodore! After the second call, I can pinpoint from where the voice is coming, and after turning around, I know I have to help her, and fast. From the hanging container, I heard Vicky's voice desperately calling for me. I don't need a third call to make me run towards the balancing truck. Hastily, and while ignoring the pain from my wounds, I limply ran towards the truck. Upon reaching it, I frantically climb on its nose while ignoring the driver who is lying unconscious on the steering wheel until I reach the roof. From here I walk without lifting my feet very slowly so I don't add too much weight onto the hanging end. Vicky? Theodore? There is no mistake, Vicky's voice is definitely coming from the end of the truck. No, 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 no! I drop down and crawl while approaching the ledge. From there I can see that Vicky is hanging on the container's door handle. Fortunately, the container's door handle can only be opened if it was turned upward, so I don't have to worry about Vicky waving the handle. Theodore! Take my hand. It is obvious what I have to do. I stretch my right hand towards the end under the ledge, desperately stretching my reach for Vicky, but only a span of hand left until I can reach her. Can you climb? She shakes her head in fright, and honestly, hearing the heavy metal scraping frightens me too. The longer I stay on the ledge, the more the container is tilting. I know I don't have much time left, so I crawl even closer to the ledge and reach even further, but I still can't reach her. My belt. I remember I can extend my reach using my belt. Frantically, I pull myself up and unfasten my belt as the container slowly continues to tilt. I finally remove the belt and wrap it around my right hand, and after holding it tightly, I drop to the ledge and throw the other end to the Vicky. Grab it! Theodore! Don't speak, grab it!
No, it's useless. Just go.
Huh? Between her frightened, watery glistening eyes, her cheeks and nose tinted red from tears, and her trembling lips, she faked a smile. A very sweet smile, yet I hated it. Don't say the take it! I keep pushing her, since almost all parts of the container has been plunged into the cliff. The only thing that is preventing this truck from falling is the hook in the truck's axle.
It's okay, just go.
No, 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 no.
Go! Or none of us will make it!
The longer she talks, the more the container is sinking. I notice that her hands are slipping, some of her fingers are bleeding, yet she still is hanging tightly. She's hanging on for me. She does not want the last image I see of her is lifeless body, especially since she knows that I know nothing about her.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you. I don't know why I thank her, but apparently she understands why. The fake smile on her face is getting wider and wider before it finally broke. I took a deep breath before I rise and turn around, leaving her alone. Whoa! What is wrong with you, man? I hate this guy. Fuck him. I hope he dies. The container has been tilting out of balance. Knowing this, I hastily dash towards the truck's head. When I reach the container's middle ledge, after I jump and land the truck's roof, the rest is easy. I just need to descend the truck's nose. The truck's nose, not trunks. Trucks. When I land on the solid ground, I turn around and powerlessly watch over the falling truck. Soon the truck plunges to the cliff. I don't see it happen, but I can hear the splashing sound of the truck landing on the shore at the bottom of the cliff. To be fair, it sounded like it landed in the water. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are ending it here. The ending sucked. It sucked. I don't want Vicky's death. And stop using the leftwards, rightwards, upwards. Fuck, it's so annoying. Anyway, for now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow there will be next chapter. Hope to see you there, and I wish you all a wonderful day.